Hello everyone, I'm so glad you've taken the time to join me today. If you're new, I'm Lene and I'm the author of The Forever Fat Burner, a naturopathic physician and a lifestyle enthusiast. And I serve the individual on a journey toward supercharging health, simplifying your lifestyle so that you can go out and live and love your best life. Now, I know you've seen people out there who have offered you assistance in losing weight. Maybe you've heard of health coaches, trainers who have tons of success in helping others break through their weight loss barriers. You may be intimidated by the process, but I'm here to tell you that with the proper tools and guidance, you can do this. The problem is that people don't know how to begin and they feel overwhelmed with all of the information that's out there. Guys, I have struggled with all of these questions. I used to be 45 pounds heavier. I tried every diet imaginable, from low carb, South Beach diet, if it fits your macros, the zone, high fat, vegan. We don't have time to go over all of those diets that I tried, but I lost and gained the same 15 pounds over and over again. I spent 20 years researching exercise physiology and nutrition, trying to configure the best diet for fat loss. I even hired a trainer and went to the gym 2 hours a day for 6 days a week. And while I did lose some weight, I still felt soft. And it wasn't until I came across the research supporting hormone regulation and fat loss that I finally figured it out. I read up on cortisol's effect on stress and the many contributing factors that raise cortisol, such as poor nutrition, too much exercise, toxicity, poor digestion, and I started using my findings in the clinical setting and started to see people break through some of their frustrating plateaus. The clinical evidence spoke for itself. So in this video, I'm going to touch on some of the key steps that help you to break through your weight loss plateaus. Let's first define a plateau. It may be defined as 3 or more weeks that your weight has remained the same. So why won't the scale budge? Always keep in mind you need to monitor the physical gains more than the number on your scale. Have your measurements changed? Has your body fat percentage dropped? Are you getting stronger, more flexible, faster in your workouts? These are all indicators that you are indeed not in a plateau. One can argue that these indicators are more important than the number on the scale. The scale won't tell you how much lean muscle mass you have put on. It won't tell you if your mass that you're building is retaining water a little bit. It won't tell you that you ate something the night before that has a lot of salt and is causing some bloatation. It certainly won't tell you that you're having hormone fluctuations if it's getting close to your monthly cycle. So you have to take into consideration the big picture. With that said, when addressing a plateau, it's necessary to always start with food. Weight loss is mostly attributed to diet and macronutrient intake more than fitness. So let's start to make adjustments where it counts. We know that hormonal balance drives fat loss more than the old calories in, calories out method. However, before we try to balance our fat burning hormones, we need to take a look at your diet. Chances are your stagnation is due to something that's going on in your food or drink department. You're going to have to be brutally honest here. Take a look at your calorie intake. Do you know how many calories you're consuming? If not, I suggest you use the phone app MyFitnessPal for 3 days and track everything you're eating. However, do not use MyFitnessPal to gauge how many calories you should be getting. It tends to drop folks too low. I've attached a PDF for you below to allow you to determine how many calories that you really need. Are you above your caloric goal? Then overconsumption is probably the reason why you're not losing weight. Eat within the suggested caloric range for 2 weeks and check for changes in your measurements or movement on the scale. If either measurement or your weight decreases, you have found your new weight loss plateau breaker. If on the contrary, your calories are below the suggested amount, this too will assuredly explain your difficulty in losing weight. If your caloric intake dips too low for too long, your metabolism will very intelligently adjust to the new low to prevent you from wasting away. Your body will very smartly hold on to every morsel of food and fat to eschew starvation. I see this all of the time. Women who have been chronic dieters on low caloric diets, exercising, and unable to lose weight. In fact, they usually gain weight using this method. The solution? Stop dieting. Give your body the fuel it needs and it will burn the fat that you want it to. What do you do if you've been eating too low of calories and you suspect that this is probably the cause? You're gonna have to coddle your fat burning a little bit at first. So slowly add in 100 calories to your current intake for 1 week. The next week, add in another 100 calories. The next week, add in another. Each week, this small amount will help you to eventually reach your maintenance calories. To figure this out, please see the attached PDF in the description to get your proper caloric intake needed. Once you hit your maintenance, you're going to stay there for at least 2 weeks. You may need to stay there for a month or so to help your body reignite the hormones that are out of balance and thus prevent you from reaching your goal. For those folks who have healthier metabolisms and a normal history of dieting, then you'll find that you may lose more weight when you increase your calorie intake to maintenance for either 2 weeks or so, and then drop back down to a healthy deficit. Conversely, you can try eating maintenance for 2 to 3 days per week, alternating with a caloric deficit of 200 to 300 calories on the other days. This method keeps the body guessing and can often be enough to ignite change. Be honest with your alcohol consumption. Are you drinking alcohol regularly? Alcohol can slow down your fat loss up to 24 to 48 hours after imbibing. If you're already eating carbohydrates, try taking them out of your diet other than fruits and vegetables for a couple of weeks and see if this helps you. If you have already taken out carbs, then try adding a half a cup of black beans or roasted sweet potato to your dinner. Add 1 serving for a week. If your weight starts to shift in a favorable direction, you can deduce that this is beneficial for you. If the scale numbers remain resolute, try adding in a second serving of carbohydrates to your lunch for a week. For some people, it's helpful to keep a low to moderate carb intake in their diet plan. However, if you choose to add carbohydrates, make sure you do so slowly and keep your total grams under 75 to 100 per day. If you're currently allowing yourself treats such as chocolate and candy and desserts, try taking them out for a week. Do you know how many carbohydrates and sugars you're getting each day? If not, go back to MyFitnessPal or Chronometer, it works well too, and track your food for 3 days. If you find that your sugar intake is over 30 grams, eliminate the excess by eliminating all forms other than fruit. Again, try this for 1 week and reassess your progress. If you've not been tested for food sensitivities, I highly suggest that you find a practitioner who will help you identify any that may be preventing weight loss. It may be that if you're eating dairy or nuts, this could be causing inflammation in your body and thus causing water retention. If you suspect these, try cutting either dairy or nuts, add it one at a time for 1 week, and see how you feel and if the scale budges. If so, you know that you're most likely sensitive to these foods right now. If you are not consuming a minimum of half your body weight in ounces of water per day, then you are going to find that weight loss is very challenging from time to time. You cannot expect your body to get rid of excess toxins, waste materials, and flush fat if you're not providing the proper cleansing action that makes it all possible. So make sure you're drinking your full body weight in ounces, ideally per day. We know that most of your body fat burning takes place while you are asleep. If you have been having difficulty falling asleep, you wake up often, you go to bed after 10, you wake up feeling groggy, then you're most likely not burning as much fat as possible. Make every effort to correct this problem, not just for your fat loss, but your overall health. If any of these issues pertain to you, then ask your practitioner for a natural recommendation, or better yet, a sleep study. Ruling out sleep apnea is always a necessary method for aiding in long-term fat loss and reducing cardiovascular risk or premature death. Additionally, you may consider testing your overnight cortisol levels and examine your sleep cycle and circadian rhythms. By doing so, you can identify if spikes in cortisol during the night are affecting your sleep. Sometimes nourishing your adrenals with a few supplements, adding in slow-burning carbohydrates such as black beans at dinner, and decreasing stress in combination with a nightly restorative routine is enough to set your biorhythmic patterns back on track. Start with these methods if testing is not in your budget. Oh, stress. Everyone has some of it, and most people have a lot of it. It is very common to see people with weight concerns that have had stressful events occur in their life. The stress tends to put the body in a fight and flight mode, or if the stress is chronic, the adrenals can become so taxed that they no longer produce adequate levels of stress chemicals. The lack of response can occur as a result of being on high alert for too long, and the response is weak or lacking. Whether the adrenals are on high alert or barely responding, stress is usually the culprit. Stressors come in many different packages and many different forms. Stressful jobs or the loss of a job, stressful relationships, too much coffee, too much high-intensity exercise, surgery, any infection or illness, chronic dieting, lack of sleep, toxic exposure in the environment and our foods. These are all possible stress inducers. If you suspect that stress has been an issue, then it's time to take action. To help you out, I have attached a list of some of my favorite de-stress techniques in a PDF for you below. To look and feel great, we sometimes go for the most strenuous and challenging workouts we can find. While it is important to challenge your body on a regular basis, if you're frequently exercising with high intensity, this can cause undue stress and subsequent hormone dysregulation. If you're doing CrossFit every day, HIIT training every day, or running for extended periods of time, then this may be the reason your body is pushing back and resisting change. If you suspect this is the case, then dial it down. Walk, dance, or do yoga in the mornings in a fasted state. Take a longer hike on the weekends, or participate in a longer yoga class. Do your HIIT training 1 to 3 times during the week, spaced out with enough rest in between. If you're lifting weights, do so twice a week for 30 minutes. This schedule will not overtax you and will provide the benefits that you need to change your physique. You'll be surprised at how profoundly you can turn the dial for fat loss in the right direction by simply modifying your routine a little bit and taking it easy most days. Conversely, if your workouts have been not challenging enough, then this will contribute to stagnation in your progress. Every 3 to 4 weeks, you should be changing your routine to keep your body guessing. If you're not currently practicing any intense exercise, then I suggest you find a type of HIIT training, Tabata sprints, and circuit weight training to elevate your fitness level. Make sure you establish the exercise method that you enjoy and that works for your body and doesn't cause you stress. Now, I know that you may be concerned that if your weight stops budging, that you will be stuck there inevitably, but let me address that real fast. You can overcome a plateau. It will take time and some discipline on your part. Whatever you do, though, don't fight it. It's your body's built-in mechanism for protection. The key is to provide a safe environment for your body to let go of precious fat. Remember, it's about hormone balance, not necessarily calories in and calories out. You can do this. Hey, a lot of people get overwhelmed by the process of trying to break a plateau. So do me a favor, try one of these methods for 1 week. That's it. Then come back to this page and post your comments below. I'll pick one random post to send a copy of my book to. If you like these tips, then click the like button or share this with someone that you think will benefit from these plateau breakers. Help me share the message and to get the word out. And do me a favor, in the comments below, type in what you thought about this video. Post a question that you may have because I'll personally be responding to each one. I'm trying to engage you as a community because you guys are awesome, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again for being here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video where I'll be teaching you how to create an exercise routine for fat loss. Until then, remember, every day supercharge your health, satisfy your soul, and simplify your lifestyle. Mwah.